day, just a fading memory flashes across my eyes. Here and there, Happy said, "Oh Lord, gotta make this rhyme. Nothing much to tell you, but there's so much on my mind. Guess I'll put this pencil down. Sincerely, your friend, I." This is the Community Solutions Podcast. Jason Bradley, Andrew Richter from deep in the bowels of our underground lair, where we have fewer bad takes than a Tim Walz campaign rally. How you doing?
Oh boy, I'm doing.
It's not hard to achieve. By the way, it's
no, it's not.
We have a pretty good record, I think.
We got a better record than most.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd put us up against the Cy Young Award winner in either league. By the way, do you know some of baseball's realignment proposals?
No, I have not heard that.
Well, I really don't like any of them except one, because I hate divisions.
Yeah.
So we might as well I am for doing the most radical thing possible.
Yeah.
By the way, I know the song.
You do?
Yeah, it's the song, The Friends, in the beginning of Friends.
No.
Right? That's the song?
No, that's not.
I heard Fred's on there, though. So do I get partial?
Your friend,
partial
well, a
credit?
single friend.
Oh.
It's,
I'll be friends with you or something like that. I think I get credit for that. I don't know what the hell it was. What is it?
You don't know what it is. Band we've had on here featured before on the Community Solutions music from the playlist. Music from the podcast playlist on Spotify. King's X, Talk to You.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Are they related to Static X?
No.
Oh, okay. Then I don't
they,
know.
They came before Static X and are a billion times better. So,
oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Jay, I'll trust you on that. You're the music expert around here.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? Oh, baseball.
Yes.
I have the ultimate proposal.
Okay.
This is my proposal, and I haven't quite seen this version yet.
Yeah.
They want to add 2 teams, which I don't like. I hate expansion.
Really? They want to add 2 more teams? They're going to put one back in Montreal? Or
no,
what?
They want one in the West, one in the East.
Yeah.
And from what I know, the Western team's probably going to be Salt Lake City.
That makes sense. Oh, wait. Salt Lake City. I was thinking Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's where the A's moved to, though. So,
that's right.
They already have it.
Shows how far behind the times I am.
Salt Lake City, I mean, Portland could be a possibility, but I don't really think so. Salt Lake seems to be the city, and the team in the East seems to be either Charlotte or Nashville.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of big cities that don't have teams already that could take one. You got to build them a stadium. You got to have corporate sponsors. You got to, season ticket
I suppose
base.
Charlotte or Nashville would be logical.
I think that will be one of the two. So this is my proposal.
Yeah.
I want to screw the American and National League. Why not? I mean, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to baseball, but I've just had it. Baseball needs a change. It needs a buzz. The game's become so boring with the pitching changes and the strikeouts. Half of the games are just unwatchable. And I say that as somebody who fell in love with baseball in 1984, and it's been one of the most important things in my life. But most of the games are unwatchable. Okay, the Twins all season have been unwatchable.
Yeah.
So I want to have an East and a West, kind of like basketball.
Yeah.
4 8-team divisions.
Okay.
So in the Twins division, which would be, we'll call it the Central. I mean, I don't know what call it the Smythe. I don't know what you want to call it, but we'll call it the Central.
You could call it the Central, and then you'd have maybe the Mountain Division just to the west.
Yeah, or Pacific.
Yeah, Pacific could be the far west.
Yeah, but I'm going to put all of them in one division because I hate too many divisions.
Yeah.
I don't want crappy division winners to make the playoffs. It's something I can't stand. So in the Twins division, we're going to have the Twins, the Brewers, the Cubs, the White Sox, the Royals, the Rockies, and the 2 Texas teams. So Houston and the Rangers.
Yeah.
The Western division, or Pacific, what do you want to call it?
Yeah.
Seattle, the A's, an expansion team in Salt Lake, Arizona, and then the 4 California teams that are left.
Right.
So San Diego, San Francisco, the Angels, and the Dodgers. The Northeastern division. I'm going to call it the Northeast.
Yeah, that's good.
You got the Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies, Pirates.
Reds.
No.
No.
Listen, hear me out.
Okay.
Pirates, Toronto, Cleveland,
Oh, yeah.
Detroit.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go the Southeast, which is not quite perfect.
Right.
You got Cincinnati, St. Louis, Baltimore, the Nationals,
Yeah.
the Braves, the expansion team in Charlotte or Nashville, and then the 2 Florida teams, Miami and Tampa.
Right.
There it is. There's my proposal.
Okay.
So there we go. I don't know how to do the schedule. I don't know how to do anything else, but that's what I want to see. I want to go as radical as humanly possible because there is no American in National League anymore. The last thing holding it back was the DH. That's now in the National League, so there's just no reason to pretend that there's an American in National League anymore.
Right.
It's just all pretend now. Now, the traditionalists are going to hate me, of which I'm one, are going to hate me, but they're all old and wrinkled up and crotchety, and they're gone in 20 years. So who cares? Baseball needs buzz.
Yeah.
And there's a looming lockout coming. There's the end of the TV deals coming. You're going to have a lockout in 27. So there's going to have to be something that comes out of that to bring the fans back. And I think and I don't know what's going to happen with TV and streaming. I got a lot of thoughts on it. Look for a future on it. So we're going to do several. And he's got some great ideas, too. But that's what I see coming.
If you're willing to do some radical things, how about, because everything now is about how fast you can pitch. If you can pitch 100 miles an hour, that's who everybody wants to be. What if?
Yeah, and then you spend half the year on the injured list.
What if we allowed people to cork bats, use pine tar, use sandpaper from the pitching mound, or, let's really expand our horizons and get creative with who can come up with the better way to hit or strike somebody out.
I know there's rules too on like size of bats, how wide they can be, or it's kind of trivial.
Yeah,
I mean it's just.
No, I don't think they should be able to bring in aluminum bats because that's just it'll be home run city.
Plus, you're going to get a pitcher killed.
Yeah,
you're going to get a pitcher killed. For sure.
But why not have? Yeah.
Well, I've called for wooden bats in college. I think it should go there because these guys get drafted and they have to adjust to a wooden bat.
Right.
Why don't you just do it in college? And you can skip that step, get to the majors a lot faster.
I always played with a wooden bat. Even when I was down here, it would be American Legion ball. Up there, it was like moose.
I had a wooden bat in B minor little league when I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But then I went to when I missed a home run playing Crystal Little League, I thought it was because of my wooden bat. I also had a hairline crack on it, which you can still hit with that. Yeah. There's a way a bat can fracture, but it still is okay. Yeah. And then there's part of it where you can't. But I ended up shattering it doing something, playing at the park or something. I just shattered the thing. And so after that, I got an aluminum one. But, I'm for anything that makes radical change. Yeah. I mean, there's some things I can't stand. I mean, they're going to do away with umpires, I think, at some point. Yeah. Which I don't really like. No. But I think it's coming. Yeah. I also think the end of managers might be coming. I think you're going to have AI, or you're going to have statistic probability. Yeah. Make the lineup and make those things. I just think that they're intent on getting rid of the human element of baseball. Now, again, that is weird, but I think it may take 50 years for all this to happen, but I do think it's coming at some point. I mean, they've had independent minor leagues with no home plate umpire. They've just had like a cyclops that calls the balls and strikes, like the tennis thing. Yeah. And I can't stand it. I hate it. Justin Morneau, though, made a good point on a Twins game one time, and he goes, I hate that idea. I just can't stand it. But he goes, I've gotten called out on a pitch that was, 5 inches off the plate. And so I kind of, the back of my head, it's sort of like, well, maybe I'd be willing to think about that after those at bats. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. By the way, political thing. Yes. Did you see what happened in Ohio? with Vivek Ramaswami.
No, I did not.
He got endorsed by the Teamsters Union.
Really?
Yes. Now,
wow.
that's significant
Yeah.
or not as significant. I keep thinking it's one of the two things.
Yeah.
Either the Teamsters are moving to the right, which they are, or the working class is more, or it's kind of an admission. This guy's the next governor. We're going to get in with him.
Yeah.
We're going to get in with him now.
I
he might be president someday. And we're going to get on his mailing list.
Right.
I kind of think I do think under Sean O'Brien and some of his people, it is changing there.
Yeah.
But I do think this might be a case of, he's going to win. we'll just get in with him.
Yeah.
So,
There's not even a Democrat opponent yet, is there?
Well, no, and they have an early primary too. They have like a May or April primary, like Texas.
Right.
So they're going to, I think there is, but I mean, Vivek's, he's going to get it.
Right.
So, I mean, it's
getting close to the point where running as a Democrat in Ohio is like running as a Republican in California.
Well,
it's not quite there, but it
still has its areas.
Yeah.
But again, Republican redistricting is going to chop that. And the second part of that is as the working class goes more Republican, some of those blue areas are going to become purple.
Yeah.
And so it's going to change.
Yeah.
So, the real key is what's it look like in 28, 32, because Pennsylvania is the next purple state to go red.
Yeah.
So I bet by 2032, that's the next Ohio.
Yeah.
And you're already seeing the same thing happen there. So, Ohio, the bellwether of all bellwethers, that in Florida.
Yeah.
A generation ago, but you've seen that in other states. You've seen it in Missouri. You've seen it in Iowa. You've seen it, and there's other states that have, like Virginia, that have moved the other way.
Yeah.
And Georgia's a state I can't figure out either. I don't understand why they've become more purple. I just can't figure it out.
I think it's the population of Atlanta for the most part.
It is, but that was there 30 years ago.
Yeah,
Why was it?
I think it's probably grown, though. I'd have to look at the population statistics, but
I'm sure it has. But, a lot of states like Florida has grown, but it's grown more red.
Right.
So what's the difference in Georgia? Is it race?
Yeah.
Is it economy? Is it, what's changing there? I don't know the answer.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
It's really weird. But I saw that the other day that they came out and they endorsed Vivek. So Vivek might win by a margin unseen in Ohio.
It's possible.
I mean, if Mike DeWine can win by 18, Vivek could win by, and he'll have the MAGA, the Trump, J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that Senate special election to fill JD's.
Yeah.
Last 2 years, at one point that was thought to be not anymore.
Yeah.
So Ohio's kind of out of the picture now, and you think about something like this, Jay, and I know we've talked about the Electoral College before, but with Ohio and Florida kind of off the table, and if Pennsylvania comes off the table, I'm having a hard time seeing where a Democrat can even get to 270.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to focus on Michigan and Wisconsin, and
or because if you think about
Arizona.
It, here's the problem though.
Arizona's getting more red too.
Yeah, it is, and so's Nevada.
And after Charlie Kirk, I think Arizona's going to trend very red.
I think the Senate and governor seats are in deep trouble in that state.
Yeah,
coming up. But here's the other thing too. I mean, Trump won. If you forget the 7 quote unquote battleground states, so forget all the other states that he won, were all by double digits.
Yeah.
So it's including Florida and Ohio. So it's not like the light blue states where there's New Hampshire, New Mexico, Virginia, where Trump got like 47% of the vote. They don't exist on the Democrat side.
No.
So. Maine, that was, of course, he won Maine too. So there's no, it's like, okay, well, if you don't win Michigan and Wisconsin, where are you going to go? There's no backup plan.
From the sounds of it, Nebraska's getting rid of their seat.
I think that's going to go in the next legislative session. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they need a constitutional change there, though. I don't. That might be a little tougher. They might have to put it to the population. I don't know if it'll be gone by the 28 election. I think it will be, though. Yeah. So you have that seat to lose. Arizona and Nevada are trending red, too. I mean, Georgia's the only state that I can't really put my finger on it. Mm-hmm. And then Michigan and Wisconsin, where else is it?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go? Yeah. How do you get to 270? And the next census comes along and California loses a vote, Illinois loses a vote, New York loses a vote, and Texas and Florida gain votes, and Arizona gains a vote. And I mean, you're looking at the latest projections I've seen is a 10-vote swing toward the Republicans.
Yeah.
The size of Wisconsin switching just with the next census.
Yeah.
So how in the world do you get to 270 if Pennsylvania's off the table? It's impossible.
Yeah.
So
now
things can change. Yeah. I mean, things can change. The Republicans can screw stuff up.
Yeah.
Nobody can turn gold into lead like they can. So don't get too ahead of ourselves here. But I don't think that'll happen under Trump. But it's the non-MAGA people that. Mm-hmm. Although I'll say this though, Jay, if you look at Republicans like in their 30s and 40s, it's MAGA. It's all MAGA.
Yeah.
It's not. It's the old fogies that are.
Yes.
The 70s and 80s people that are the old Bush Cheney crowd.
Yep.
So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do get it. It's just generational right now until the John Cornyn's and the Lisa Murkowski's are out of there, and we replace them with MAGA people. Then you've really changed things.
Yeah.
And maybe made a permanent change or a generational change or whatever you want to call it. So maybe I'm a little. I'm not right on that. I don't know. But what do you make of the Texas race right now where Ken Paxton has held a lead for quite some time? Yeah. Cornyn's caught up. I have a question. Do you think now they've got, I want to say a May primary. So they still got another 6 or 7 months till the primary. Does the administration weigh in here? Do they break protocol? Trump doesn't care about protocol or any of that stuff.
No.
I mean, do they tacitly help Paxton? Does Trump weigh in? Because he could change that election if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Or do it be still kind of run by the old boys club?
It is, very much so.
Yeah. So what happens there?
Trump may step in on behalf of Paxton.
Does he do it openly?
That's a tough one. I think Trump doesn't fear a whole lot. So I think at some point he will. I think he wants, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I don't see him getting behind Cornyn if Cornyn wins the endorsement. I don't see him going against Cornyn, but I see him just kind of hands off. I'll ignore that race.
The only way Trump would get in, though, is if he thought the Senate majority was on the line.
Right.
He would jump in then.
Yeah, he would.
But I can't see it happening. I don't see enough vulnerable Republican seats because I think we'll win Georgia.
Yeah.
And then what do you have? You have Maine. Susan Collins isn't much anyway.
Yeah.
I don't really care if we lose that seat. And what do you have? You have the North Carolina race, but Michael Whatley, the chairman of the RNC, who has every fundraiser in the country in his Rolodex, is going to be the candidate. He's going to have more money than God. I can't see him losing that, even against Roy Cooper, who's a formidable opponent. But, I don't see how he could lose that seat. So, the only way I could see it is if it meant the Senate majority. Trump would have to step in a general and support him. Just say, okay, our candidate lost, and I'm just going to be a team player. We'll work everything out after the election. Let's just win and whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only scenario I can really see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Paxton's going to win.
Yeah,
If the election were today, he would win by a lot. But I just think that, man, that Texas all boys club, it's like one of those, Republican states by 2 million votes, but it doesn't quite mean what, it's like, it just, they never really got behind Ted Cruz, even though Cruz was, faced a pretty formidable opponent in Allred. I mean, he raised a lot of money and Cruz still won. I mean, I think Trump's coattails helped him, but, I'm just a little bit trepidatious about Texas's Republican Party. They just
well, you should be. I mean,
they got the Dan Crenshaws, and they got, you know what I mean. Like, now they have some good. Chip Roy is great. I mean, they got some good ones down there. Don't misunderstand me.
Yeah,
but,
Chip Roy is running for Paxton's seat.
Yeah, Attorney General.
Yeah.
So
and
I hate to lose him in the House, though.
Yeah, I know.
But he must have somebody to succeed him. I mean, he wouldn't make that move without having somebody to pass the man. I don't think he would.
I hope not. But I know, like, they allowed Democrats to. I mean, the Republican Party had the clear majority in Texas, but yet they put Democrats as heads of committees and stuff, and it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know I have no idea. I don't know where Governor Abbott is not stepping in. I don't think he's a bad governor, but I don't understand how he doesn't seem to have control over the legislature or the assembly or whatever they call it.
No, not really.
I don't know if he's going to run again. God, that'd be his fourth term.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Got me. There hasn't been a Democratic governor there since old Ma Richards?
Yeah, probably.
She lost to George W., right?
Yeah.
So it's been a long, long time. 30 years maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's in jeopardy. But, God, the Republican Party in Texas just kind of, I don't know. And maybe it's the this is why we need a strong Democratic Party, and that may sound stupid.
Yeah.
But I want the Republicans on their toes. I want them thinking they have to deliver. I want them thinking, they're not just going to win every race by 30 just because they have an R by their name.
Right.
So there's just something has to force them to get better in some of these states.
Yeah.
And some of these states are great. I mean, some of them are great. I mean, I loved when, actually, I didn't love it, but I did, when Trump brought in Kristi Noem and Doug Burgum.
Right.
It's like, okay, North and South Dakota might be the two most efficient government-run operations in the country, but it's kind of like, why don't we leave them there? Okay, I just, you know what I mean? Like, let them keep doing what they're doing. I mean, Doug Burgum's great as he's got a huge background in what he's doing. I mean, and Kristi Noem's great. So it's, I see a case for both. It's like, do we gotta put all of our good governors in the cabinet? It's just kind of, I don't know. Well. So. Well, I know, Jay. I gotta say this. Your favorite presidential candidate.
Yes.
We gotta touch on the Kamala stuff, and I know I'm going to skip around a little bit and go out of order.
That's fine. Hey, did you see? And this is related because she was the vice president. Did you see the renovated West Colonnade in the White House?
No.
With all the portraits of the presidents, black and white, just beautiful portraits of the presidents, and it goes from Washington all the way up through this term of Trump. So there's two pictures of Trump, and in between for Joe Biden is a picture of the auto pen.
No,
you didn't see that?
I did not. I'm going to have to look that up.
That is so funny. I burst out laughing.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I don't know how people just can't just love Trump, because he was on the plane the other day This might have been right after the Charlie Kirk funeral.
Yeah.
And you could see he was kind of half pissed off. And he just wasn't in a real... Anytime his collar's off or his tie is off or it's crooked, you know he's not in a really good mood. And I just can't understand how the media just... Because he stops and answers questions no matter what.
Yeah.
He's like the most accessible president anywhere.
Right.
And some lady asks him something. And Trump looks at her and goes, God, that's such a stupid question. And I just start cracking up. And he was just going back and forth with somebody. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, I don't really care. Something like, I'll call Vlad. I don't know. He was just, it was like, you couldn't tell if he was being serious or not. He's like, God, that's such a stupid question.
He is the greatest troll ever.
And he does things just to drive the Dems and the media nuts. You know he's doing it on purpose. How do they fall for it after 10 years?
Of course.
How do they fall for it? I think I'm going to run for a third term. But he was totally kidding.
Oh, I know.
MSNBC has like constitutional scholars on Joe Scarborough the next morning. And Trump's like laughing at them. It's just
but you got to look it up. It is so good.
God, that's such a stupid question. I got to use that at some point. I had Peter Ducey had a long-winded question for him too, where Trump goes, I don't know. I'll deal with it tomorrow or something like that. I like Peter Ducey, but it was... Trump was like half smiling and half serious. But I tell you what, you can see when he's got a little sunburn and he's got the tie off he's got the James Dean look. You can just tell he's pissed off. It's just like, let him get on the plane, you guys. I don't know what. I don't understand it. So anyway, I have to look at the God, that's a stupid question. So I know you've got Kamala's book ordered on Amazon and it's coming to you. So just I know you're waiting with bated breath.
Me and my whole family. I ordered copies for everybody.
Yeah, you're gonna nice bathroom reading for you. Beats the sports page.
Well,
now I've only seen eggs. I am thinking about buying it. I really am.
Really?
I mean, I do like political memoirs.
Yeah.
I don't know what this book is. I don't even call it that or not.
Yeah.
I remember I read Bill Clinton's book cover to cover, My Life. But I actually found half interesting.
Yeah.
Even though his book was, I basically could sum it up in one sentence. Alone in Washington is what he should have probably called it. All the credit he took for himself. Right. But Clinton is actually mildly interesting to read about, and there were things about when he was governor of Arkansas. I mean, it was not a bad book to read. George W. Bush's was cool because Bush didn't focus so much on policy, but like what happened. He'd go on Air Force One, and Bush had like, because he was a physical fitness freak, so he had like, what do you call a treadmill installed on Air Force One, and they played Texas Hold'em because the plane rides were so boring, and I guess he became a pretty good cards player. It was actually, again, it was not I'm right on all these policies. It was more of a inside look, and so
Louis Freese was pretty good. FBI. You read that?
I know, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, I read that. That was pretty
My
good.
FBI, I think he called it.
I think that's what he called it.
But he actually was. I've heard good things about him from some of the people who worked for him. So I don't know that. I know he and Janet El Reno didn't care for each other. So I'm not sure Free was as political as some of other people who've been in that. But I would like to read that. I've heard that was good. And I've read others too. And And I'm going to say one thing about Kamala. She had to have a ghostwriter.
Oh,
I mean,
of course.
this woman can't speak in complete sentences. There's no way that she didn't have a ghostwriter. And I'm not sure that she even knows what's in it. This is the other part that because it's funny how she goes on all the cushy left shows.
Right.
The View, Good Morning America, Rachel Maddow, goes on all the shows where you just know it's a fluff fest.
Yeah.
And she goes on these shows and she still can't give a straight answer.
Right.
I mean, I would like to ask her, does your poop stink? I would just like to ask her a question that I don't get. Well, you know, the burden of the burdensome that was burdened on the hopes and dreams and aspirations is, I mean, I just, or whatever. I don't, how do you not write a book? Let's just pretend she wrote it.
All right.
She didn't. Let's just pretend she did. And released, her and her publisher released all these excerpts.
Right.
They all come out. Oh, she didn't pick Mayor Pete because he's
too gay.
He's plays for the other team.
Right.
Her and Biden called her before the debate and talked about his hemorrhoids or something and didn't care about her. Or they threw me under the bus. I only had on blah 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 blah. Then she gets asked about it.
Yeah.
From a very friendly venues. I mean, these people aren't out to, and has no answer. Total deer in the headlights look.
Yeah.
She was literally, how do you go on Rachel Maddow's show, who's gay? I mean, she must be. She looks flaming. I think she is.
I'm pretty sure she is, yeah.
You don't think she's going to ask you about Pete Buttigieg?
Right.
What do you mean you can't put a gay person on?
Mm-hmm.
You really think that? Blah, blah, blah. She denied it to Rachel Maddow's face. Mm-hmm. Maddow then reads her the excerpt of the book, basically.
Yeah.
And Harris denies it again and says, no. Okay. What happened, was that I thought, I'm exaggerating, but it was blah, 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 blah about how, we just couldn't have that radical of a ticket. We couldn't, blah, blah, blah. But it had nothing to do with him being gay. I was like, what? Now, if Tim Walz is your picture of a manly man,
yeah,
okay, he was gay enough as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, but he was.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I mean, I want to see Jim Carville's reaction because the Democrats of today are going to kill that guy.
Yeah.
They're just going to kill him. And I really want to see his reaction to it. So, but I'm telling you, I'm just going to spare everybody from watching The View or watching GMA. It literally is the campaign all over again.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the motive, Jay. What's the motive? I mean, is the motive to sell books? This can't be about 2028 because
I wouldn't think so.
she's reminding everybody of why she lost.
Right.
So what is her motive?
Might just be money. Selling books. I don't know.
Yeah, I need a nest egg to go. Who's going to hire her for a speaking engagement? They were talking on CNN about, I think Scott Jennings said that, like, who's going to pay her to speak?
Right.
You bring her for an interview, she doesn't say anything. But it was like, I mean, she couldn't have gotten an advance. Look, she had to say something provocative to get a deal.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even asked about Biden's health. Wasn't asked about, I mean, what is she doing? Does she know what she's doing?
Yeah. I don't think she does.
Unbelievable. Just spare yourself. But I'm going to get it. I think maybe I won't buy it. Maybe I'll see if it ends up at a garage sale or a pawn shop or something, and I'll just get it for nothing. But I'm just.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
just the
don't
non-answers just continue.
It's like you have this controversial book. There's controversy around whether
Or that
you
you're
wrote it or
trying
not.
to make controversial.
Yeah, but then when you are interviewed, you're trying to play it down. It just
Yeah, I mean, you write a book and then you don't stand behind it.
Right.
I mean, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Probably burning some bridges. Josh Shapiro wasn't too happy. He was
No.
on a show and he was pretty unhappy.
he should be.
Yeah. I mean, they said some bad things about him too,
Yeah.
and so I don't know. It's just
Well, when you're insecure, I mean that's what happens. You're not going to bring somebody on your ticket that's going to upstage you.
true, and I do think that was the problem.
Yeah.
I also think, what do you think? When did the Bidens take she took shots at Jill, apparently. When did the Bidens swing back? Because Biden's he puts loyalty pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean, does Hunter swing back with a profanity-laced tirade, or when do they swing back?
Yeah, I don't know.
Got to be pretty soon.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think
so.
Biden knows he's alive.
Right.
Somebody-
He has no idea, but
but I think
you know what your vice president said about you.
yeah, Biden
Who?
Inc. Biden Inc. is going to swing back.
Yeah.
And then the fun will begin.
Right.
But I honestly think in 2 weeks this is so gone. This is so.
Yeah.
I think this is just. I think she's going to be gone so fast it'll
Yeah.
make your head
I mean,
spin.
4 years down the line, she'll be in the where are they now file, and
Maybe there'll be an Amber Alert for her. I don't know.
yeah.
But I can't see. Here's the other thing too. She can't run for president again with nothing to say. I
Right.
mean, because Democrats are going to want to win. They're going to want somebody who's got a plan for that, or is a fighter. They're not going to want this person who can't,
Yeah.
answer if we're on Earth or Mars. So
Yeah. I tell you right now, she's doing all the wrong things. Gavin Newsom's doing all the right things.
Well-
to get their nomination.
maybe I still think Gavin is making some
Yeah.
stupid moves too.
Oh, absolutely.
'Cause I think
by our standards.
Well,
and,
I think the redistrict thing's going to go down.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really ugly if that goes down.
yeah.
You can't even pass something in California.
But he's just got to smile and lie.
Gavin Newsom.
He'll switch positions and say I was never for it.
Gavin Newsom has the scariest trait in politics.
Yeah.
He can look at you, lie right to your face, and you like him anyway. And that is borderline psychopathic.
Yeah.
And he has that quality down maybe better than anybody I've seen since Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
I don't know that Clinton did it totally on purpose. I think everything he says is all about that.
Yeah.
I think Clinton learned to do it over time. I think Newsom, his whole career is just a work.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about Newsom. He has enough liberal credentials to move to the center a little bit. He called for gay marriage and stuff way before all the Washington Dems. Nobody's going to question his liberal credentials.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that he can't do. You can't move to the middle and have it be fake.
Right.
He's going to have an authenticity problem.
Yeah.
So, and that California record is going to be a millstone around his neck, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just can't see him walking into Michigan or Arizona. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't see him beating JD, but that's just me. Now, we mentioned Walz.
Yeah.
We were going to mention this earlier and forgot.
Yeah.
Once again, I was wrong.
And I was right.
Well,
I said he would do this.
I don't know that you said that.
I
Where's
did.
the tape? I want to hear that. I don't think you said that. I am not surprised. I'm surprised. I think he made this decision a long time ago.
Yeah,
I think that's
I do too.
why you didn't see, any anybody else kind of
Yeah.
jump in or challenge him or anything like that, which I think it was known in the circles that he was going to do this.
Yeah.
What do you think about Walz as the third term? I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, he's at a low point right now.
Yeah, he is at a low point. He has done so much damage to his reputation. There is so much that he has been just beaten over and over and over for. And the guy on the campaign trail, I think, signed his death warrant as far, not physically, but politically. And I don't know how you come back from that. There was already an ad that came out, and I don't know if you've seen it, where it's like, welcome to beautiful Minnesota. And it's where the place where you can enjoy our lakes and dreams come true, and you take in our wonderful cities, and it shows Minneapolis on fire, and it's just destruction for like 30 seconds. And so it has pictures of walls or clips of walls in there. And so, yeah, I think he's going to face a pretty big uphill battle.
The interesting KSTP poll that came out said that half of Democrats wanted a different candidate.
Yeah.
Now, I still think that they'll come together. The militant Dems will come together for Walz.
Yeah.
But I still don't have any faith in the Republicans. I know the kind of candidate I want. I just don't have the person. I have the what's the movie? Weird Science. Like if I could create or Mannequin, if I could create the candidate, I know exactly what I would do. But I don't have the who.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to get outspent 10-1 unless there's outside money.
Yeah.
So how does that play out? I mean, like I've said before, the key to the Republicans winning and beating Walz is doing nothing that they've done in the last 20 years.
Absolutely. They've got to do what Charlie Kirk did. They've got to do what Scott Pressler did. They have to register more voters than they have ever registered before, and they have to do the follow-up to get them to vote early. That's the key. That's what you do. You come forward with better ideas like, hey, we're not going to tax overtime or Social Security or tips here in Minnesota either. Hey, we're going to reward your labor, not no new taxes. We're going to make sure.
Yeah, no new taxes just keeps the system in place.
Yeah.
And I would also add that crime has to be a big part of this.
Yeah.
That no more, the governor, I don't know if this can happen, but DeSantis was able to remove some prosecutors down in Florida.
Yeah.
Maybe that has to happen here.
Yeah.
You're not prosecute crime or the attorney general. If we had a different attorney general, it would be different. But I mean, there's got to be crime has to be a huge part, because I'm here to tell you, and we were going to mention crime in a minute. People want safe streets, and they're not concerned about the details.
No,
they're not concerned about the process.
And that can get scary because you want it to be orderly.
There's a line to walk there.
Yeah, you have to do it constitutionally. You have to do it orderly. You cannot just do whatever, because that is where you bring in authoritarian.
True, but I think the err on the side of safe streets are going to come as number one. I think that's where the people are right now.
Yeah.
And they'll let the courts decide if something's gone too far or if somebody's rights have been violated or whatever. But it's not going to be any more of this criminal first, let people out 10 times, make race a part of what happens. We're all supposed to be equal under the law. There's not special rights for some people. So I think crime. I think we got to build on the middle class that is voting Republican now.
Absolutely.
And the young people that came out. President Trump brought out that vote. I think the one thing that I don't know how to get around in Minnesota, though, is not registering by party.
Yeah.
And that makes the data, the data that the Republicans had, like in Arizona and Nevada, was so good.
Right.
And how they broke it down into what they called an R1, R2, low whatever adjective they put on that, and how they got out those people that maybe didn't vote last time, or got out those people who, got them to vote early, and they, and in Minnesota that's a little bit trickier. I'm not sure how they go about a statewide campaign goes about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if you don't have the data, if you're registering new voters, people that have never voted before, it's easy to, in a notebook, take their information down, follow up with them, and then
that's true.
And then
on
help
an
them.
iPad.
Yeah, to order the absentee ballot, and then you follow up with them. Hey, do you need help filling that out? And then if need be, you drive with them to the post office so they can put it in the slot.
How about we do that instead of spend money on billboards?
Oh, no kidding. Because I'll tell you, a billboard, you have no idea how many votes that gets you. If you have a high propensity Republican voter, they're going to vote Republican no matter what.
Yeah.
You're not going to change that. If you have a high propensity independent voter, those are the ones, yes, that need some nudging either way, but you can overcome that by having a large number of new voter registrations. And for us to overcome the same day registration problem, we have to do it on the front end by having people registered and voting early with an absentee ballot. It's the only way that we can do it.
And it's also the way to get rid of early voting.
Yes.
Because if the Republicans are super good at it, then the Democrats won't want it anymore.
Right.
It's racist. It's it's something like that.
They took advantage of the system. They cheated.
We become better than them at it, then they won't want to do it anymore.
Right.
It's like you look at the governor's races, I know in Virginia and New Jersey, I think early voting's already started.
Yeah.
And it's still 5 weeks away, 5 weeks from Tuesday. Mm-hmm. What do you think about those races? What do you think about?
I like Winsome Sears. I hope she wins.
I don't think she's as strong as Youngkin, but
but she is good.
Youngkin wasn't ahead either at this point.
Yeah.
And it turned to the last minute people voted for him, and I like the guy in New Jersey. I
do
like
too.
him a lot, and
I think he's got a shot.
I think he's got a real shot.
Yeah, imagine that.
I mean, he almost won last time. I think he lost 52-48 or something. It was, and so I think they got a pretty weak candidate in New Jersey.
I do too.
I don't remember her name, but
yeah,
she seems to again trying to avoid.
She was caught up in some scandal,
some tax thing or something. So,
not that matters to Democrats, but
no, but it does. I think when it gets to the point where even the media there has to cover it, that it's bad. And of course, how do you pronounce his name? Citarelli.
Yeah,
Citarelli. He ran last time. He's been vetted, and they don't have anything to go grab onto him. So I do like Winsome Sears too. And the Attorney General race there, the Republican is either tied or ahead in that race. That's a critical one to watch because Virginia is where they were targeting people going to school boards and they were doing all that crap. So that's a critical one to watch as well. I don't know what to make of these odd year elections in these light blue states.
They should not be statewide elections in an odd year.
No,
it's ridiculous.
I can't stand it.
I can't either. But really, anywhere. I mean, look at Minneapolis and what's going on with Jacob Fry and Omar Fateh.
You see, Jacob Fry did a commercial in Somali.
No.
What does that tell you about where Minneapolis is at?
Here's the thing, and unfortunately, I don't know. Either Jacob Fry is going to just barely pull it out, or Omar Fateh is going to win. And here's why: because of ranked choice voting. And Omar Fateh has joined forces with two other mayoral candidates, and it's like, choose me as the number one, him as the number two, him as the number three. They're spoiler candidates.
Yes, it's to deny Fry second and third place votes that he would have gotten.
Yep.
It's
just a game. It's a shell game.
It's a total manipulation. It's not even an election.
Yeah.
It's the powerful getting together to manipulate the result. What's the difference between that and going in there and stealing ballots?
Right.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
It's totally stealing ballots.
Right.
If you actually had to vote for somebody, it would be a much different result. But yeah, they figure they've gamed the system. Yeah, now, I don't know how many people will do that. I don't know how much has to sway. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I don't understand ranked choice voting very much because in New York, I mean, they could do the same thing there. Candidates just all hate each other.
Right. Right. There is that. It might work a little better in that situation. But when you're able to come up with...
I'm kind of kidding, but they all don't like Mundami.
Right.
That's who they all three don't. All the other three guys don't like.
Yeah. but when you have a candidate that wants to win and you go find people that you can run as a slate of 1, 2, 3s, you're gaming the system. I mean, it's like this. Let's say you have the Minnesota Vikings playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. And let's say that the Kansas City Chiefs being the DFL in this instance and the Vikings being the Republicans, although it would probably be switched if we were, but just hang with me here. Let's say that, okay, this is a Super Bowl, so whoever wins everything, right? Now, in a normal game, Vikings and the Chiefs battle it out and see who wins. In ranked choice voting, let's say the Chiefs get to bring along the Miami Dolphins with them, and also they can bring along the
whoever
Raiders,
Bengals,
the Raiders, or the Bengals, and let's say whenever they want, they can throw people from the other teams out there as a third and fourth team on the field. And it just causes massive confusion, I mean,
the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah,
it's just the dumbest thing in the world.
No, you want to see the two that are there go head to head.
People earn their vote.
Yeah,
earn your vote.
Yep. It's just it's so dumb. And if any state, any city, any county, any whatever really is seriously taking a look at ranked choice voting, run in the other direction.
Yeah, and I think
you will never have a fair election.
But I
again.
think this is why ranked choice voting is being put in, to manipulate these outcomes. This way you can take down, you have a Bernie Sanders or a Donald Trump type.
Yeah.
Like a guy who comes in to shake something up.
Yes.
You can take them out by manipulating the other candidates in there.
Yep.
If say a Republican was surging in Minneapolis just out of nowhere, then you sit there and we'll deny them second and third place votes. So they miss this round and miss that, or however.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand how it works. Don't want to understand it. And end up, this has happened in Alaska.
Yeah.
Remember this happened in Alaska.
The Republican who wasn't what's her name actually won. McCoskey didn't win.
No, but I'm talking about the House race where Sarah Palin was in it.
Oh yeah.
Because there's no primary. The Democrat in the first round got the lowest amount of votes.
Yeah.
But when you go to second choices, third choices, all of a sudden somehow the Democrat wins.
Right.
And 30% of Alaskans voted for this. If you had a fair fight between a Dem and a Republican, there's no way the Dem wins that race.
No.
Impossible. So it was just stupid. Just stupid. I don't know. Ranked choice voting seems to be running out of steam.
I hope so.
I really think it has. And
I don't think
New York's going to put a big bullseye on that too, because again, throwing anybody you want to on a ballot, having a primary but going to the general election anyway, changing I'm an independent now. I mean,
right.
It's just the stupidest stuff to just manipulate the outcome. I think it's really they've hurt themselves with it. They've hurt themselves. Ranked choice voting is just dumb. It's a solution in search of a problem. Just dumb. I want to get to crime, Jay.
Okay.
We're going to talk about crime. And I generally agree with what you're saying, but let me throw a monkey wrench in this.
Okay.
Because, Trump's kind of, and again, I think he's half playing with people and he's half serious.
Right.
I'm going to go into Chicago with blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Then what's his name goes nuts. And the media goes nuts. And Trump just sits there and laughs at them.
Yeah.
D.C. obviously is a totally different thing because it's not a state.
Right.
And there's, the federal government has certain powers there. I want to ask you a question. Do you think that it is out of control enough that President Trump almost has to do this in a few more big cities? He has to go in and either send a backup or calm things down for a while or restore some order. I mean, you got big cities. Chicago's a great example. There's like 10 people a weekend getting killed.
Yeah.
And then I love the media that they don't prosecute crime, and then all of a sudden they claim crime is down. I mean, really?
Right.
What kind of reporting is that?
Yeah, it's garbage reporting. I've wondered if there's a different way to do this. We don't want the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, Space Force
not on a permanent basis
in our streets.
Yeah, we certainly don't.
You can't have a standing army on U.S. Territory. You just cannot if we're not in a time of war. However, what happens?
Yeah, we don't even put them on our border.
What if you organize the FBI and you back them up? Maybe you transfer over. You hire, say, 8,000 IRS agents, and then you put them on the border. Well, maybe you transfer them to the FBI office in Chicago for a while, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's legal, is it not?
Sure. If it's a federal building, Trump's the executive. He can put them anywhere he wants to.
Yeah.
Or cash.
Right.
Yeah.
And there might be a way to do it, but you can't invite the military in. But for places where maybe you can, like Memphis, Tennessee, where the governor would actually allow
See
that to happen.
My theory is that what Trump needs to do is take a big blue city in a red state and figure out how to coordinate that.
Yeah.
Whether that's like Austin, Texas, St. Louis, Memphis.
Yep.
He needs to go, okay, look, it's out of control. I understand that you don't have, the local prosecutor there won't. I understand that.
Yeah.
But we got to get control of the streets.
Yeah.
And somehow together, they somehow come in because the governor could declare a state of emergency. The attorney general, assuming it's a Republican, I guess I shouldn't make that assumption. Mm-hmm. They should look into removing a prosecutor who won't do that. But I think on a small, this is the thing. And I think people are so fed up with crime right now.
Yeah.
And this is where Trump, you could totally see he has the pulse of the country.
Yeah.
But he's being careful and smart with it. He's saying bombastic things, but he's not doing them.
Right.
The people, like I said, they are not obsessed right now with process. They want their kids safe at school, the supermarket to be safe when they go, and they're not concerned right now about who does it.
Right.
Now, that's a little dangerous.
Absolutely, it is.
But it's the sentiment is all on the side of the administration here.
Yeah.
And they can't overplay their hand. They can't do it stupidly. I don't think they are. But somehow they got to show, okay, we can work with this person, and get these big cities under control. And I think the blue cities and red states are the place to show this.
I do too.
I think it's going to be hard in Chicago when you've got, even though that's one of the worst. And I feel so bad
I do too.
for the people getting, who can't step outside of their house.
But I think you're right. If you do this in enough blue cities and red states,
maybe it'll correct itself.
You show success there. I don't think the governors in the blue states can hold it back because the people will.
Yeah, I possibly, and maybe that's like
riot.
You know how when Trump started talking about Chicago, and then all of a sudden they pivoted to Memphis. I think that maybe they're taking their advice.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, okay, we don't need to go to war with the governor there. Let's do some. But I agree with you. You got to show that what we're doing works. And then success begins success.
Yes.
And so I do think that's true. I do think that's where we're heading. But the crime is just, I mean, Republicans have got to make this a central issue somehow.
Yes.
Whether that's with attorney generals, whether that's with governors, you got to put the Dems on the defense on this.
Yeah.
Because they have no defense. What's their defense?
Right. And if you've
the
got
woman who got stabbed in North Carolina by a guy who's been out of jail 14 times.
I know. That guy, that case should not go to a local prosecutor.
No.
That should get taken over by
the Attorney General's or
office.
Pam Bondi needs to take it over. I mean, I don't know that you can make a federal charge of it, but you can argue that the person in charge down there is incompetent.
Yeah.
You can make that case and say, hey, they've let them out a bunch of times. We don't trust them to try.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hopefully the Attorney General's office will just take the case.
I think they will because of the national attention that this has gotten.
Yeah.
I don't think you can just hand this off to the local DA who's let this person out all these times. I think that's bad. But yeah, the crime is just, it is just awful. And something's got to be done with these criminals.
I agree.
Yeah, so... especially in the illegal ones have got to be deported immediately.
Yeah.
Let the Dems argue about process. Let the Dems argue that that they should stay. They want to make that their position. You let them.
Yeah.
Let them squawk on MSNBC. Nobody watches it anyway. So but it's an issue that's going to have a lot of carryover. And if Trump's successful on this,
yes,
this is going to be serious thing coming up, I think.
Yes, I do too.
But you're right, Jay. We have to care about the how, even though we might not want to sometimes.
Right.
We do have to care about it because you set the precedent, and what stops a Democratic president from going into red cities and doing what they want? I mean, there's there has to be something. You have to do it legally, or else charging these criminals isn't going to hold up.
Right.
And that's even worse, when they get let out.
Yeah.
Government shutdown, Jay.
Oh, boy.
But did they press for the 60 votes? Yeah, the Republicans, the CR failed in the Senate, but I think that's because you're going to have to throw Rand Paul a bone.
Yeah.
You're going to have to, you're going to have the usual people who are a thorn in Trump's side.
But
I'm
more on their side because we need a budget. We need to stop with the CR business.
We do, but how do we pass a budget with 60 votes and get what we want?
Yeah.
You're going to throw the Dems a bone.
Yeah.
I don't know what that could be. I don't know what the Dems would, I don't know what they would want as, how do you cut the budget and throw the Dems a bone?
Well, they could.
I'd like to hear that too from the Tom Masseys and Rand Pauls of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate those guys, but they keep complaining, but I don't hear a lot of solutions there. I hear a lot of pandering online, but not a lot of, okay, how do we work this?
Right.
You put forth an amendment and get the 60 votes for it. So I mean, I don't know how, beyond Senator Fetterman, I don't know, how do we get 6 other Democrats?
So fun to play about gay squirrels in Venezuela, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
I don't know if that's enough to sway them, but
I don't like the CR business either. But again, I come back to if the CR is the best. Look, this is where losing those Senate elections, not backing Kerry Lake, and
right,
losing that close one in Wisconsin. God,
yep.
This
Thanks,
is
Mitch
where
McConnell.
Yeah, this is where we had 2 or 3 more Republican senators. And you had John Fetterman, and the Dems up next year, you could get 60 votes.
Yeah.
I think you could. And this is where it's like, tell me the 6 Democrats that are going to even dream about supporting it.
Right.
John Ossoff should be.
Yeah.
The senators in Nevada should be.
Right.
But my guess is that they're not interested in it. Doing resolution, but I don't. How can you pass a budget with nobody who will negotiate?
Yeah.
I mean, say what you want about like the Dems, like Bill Clinton and the Dems in the 90s. They were at the table. Say what you want about disagreeing with them on this issue. That's fine.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they got a budget. At the end of the day, we got welfare reform. At the end of the day, we got a balanced budget. Now, the libs got things they wanted too.
Yeah.
Okay. But the big ticket items, the Republicans pushed them on them. So, again, what's the issue? That I think there's going to be a shutdown. I think the Dems are going to get blamed. Trump's ready for it.
Yeah.
He's ready to lay off those bureaucrats, those union bureaucrats. He's going to lay them off at noon that day.
Yeah.
And we'll see how long that lasts before they call Schumer's office and tell him. But what deal can Schumer present? That's the other thing. I mean, and this is part of Schumer sat back and coddled to the far left, let them get anything they want, have any candidate they want, and never stood up to them once.
Right.
So he may want to make a deal, but who's he going to sell it to?
Yeah. I can't picture, because what Republicans want and Democrats want, there's so far a divide between the two right now. And it's not like the old days where it's like, well, I want to spend this much in taxes. I want to spend this much in taxes. It is literally, I want to inject kids with every harmful thing known to man. I don't want to do that. I want old people to decide that doctors can kill them if they'd like. We don't want to do that. It's these huge moral dilemmas. It's not a big ticket item per se. It's actual moral dilemmas.
Well, and Ray, you're right. If it was just a budget issue, I think that could be fixed. I really do. I really think you could give tit for tat and, somehow fix that. You also have to keep all the Republicans.
Yeah.
You got to keep them all, which we don't have. I mean, we don't quite have them all.
Right.
So how do you keep all the Republicans and give I don't know. It's ugly. And the only solution that I can see is somehow Republicans got to get a lot closer to 60 votes.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get close to 60 votes. They need
Agreed.
another 20 or so seats in the House, because even the House has a hard time passing a budget because the majority is so small and the minority won't work with them.
Right.
Which is funny because there's 18 Democrat seats that Trump won And you'd think that
Yeah.
they would be, okay, look, Akeem Jeffries, you can stand out here and posture for the media, but I vote for this and I'm gone. And, I don't bring something home to my district. If I vote against everything Trump does and Trump won my district, I could be cooked.
Yeah.
Because Pelosi kind of let those people do what they wanted, and so I don't know what's going on, but you can't work with somebody who won't negotiate. So
Right.
Where do you go? It's like, and I believe in minority rights, and that's the one thing I hate about the CRs.
Right.
Is that the minority should have.
Yeah.
We're not 50+1, but when they won't engage. I mean, how are we ever going to get rid of the Department of Education, Jay? I mean, Trump's basically closed that building down, and yet they're still there.
They've got to codify it, and they're not doing anything.
Well, the House can do it,
Yeah.
but I don't know how the Senate can do it
Right.
without the 60 votes, because you can't get rid of a department on a continuing resolution.
Can you explain to our listeners? I know they're very bright people, and a lot of them probably
I hope
know.
I can explain it.
But maybe not all of them know, or newcomers to our show, newcomers to the whole political process. When in the Senate do you need 60 votes versus 50? Because there was such a fight to make sure that we had at least 50, so J.D. Vance could be the tie-breaking vote. But then it doesn't matter in some cases.
Okay, you need 60 to stop the debate. You don't need 60 votes to pass something.
Right.
You need it to avoid cloture. Now, that's been changed, though. The Dems changed it under Harry Reid with judicial appointments.
Yeah.
That's why the minority can't stop a Supreme Court appointment.
Right.
In the old days, Justice Jackson, the Republicans could have stopped that.
Yeah.
Now they can't because the procedure got changed. Now you can vote to suspend the rules, which of course requires a super. I'm simplifying it because I don't know all the details and I don't want to go off too far on the deep end. But basically, you need a vote to end the debate.
Yes.
And then you can pass something 51 to 49, but if you don't get to 60 votes, you can't, in the Senate, they can filibuster it and get rid of it forever. It never even comes up on the table. The House, you can't do that. The House is much more of a dictatorship.
Right.
The majority kind of, for the most part, can push anything. Not quite. Especially when the majority is as small as the Republicans is. If the Republicans had like another 30 seats, there's nothing that the Dems can do to stop them.
Right.
Not a thing. So in the Senate, again, God, just to have those 2 or 3 more seats.
Yeah. That would make a world of difference.
Unbelievable what it could do.
Mm-hmm.
So, So it's basically, it's a procedural thing.
Yeah.
But again, a budget is one of those things that requires that. It requires 60 votes to take the vote.
Right.
And so that's why we have continuing resolutions, which is to fund the government till a certain date. And it creates these false fiscal cliffs,
Right.
that are all on paper. They're not real, and you have this stupid Congressional Budget Office that does this stupid scoring. How they figure that out is just, it's kind of like the Consumer Price Index. It's phony numbers.
Yeah.
The one thing that I think I kind of thought of something though that maybe could bridge a gap, and I'm not sure what either side would do. Is what do you do with the tariff money?
Yeah.
I mean, there's thought about giving like an additional tax cut. I don't really like the idea of a one-time thing because, like I said, if the tariff's permanent, like it is with the EU and with Japan, a one-time rebate doesn't make sense.
Right.
And maybe that's a negotiating thing. Okay, what do we want to do with this money? We'll throw some at the debt. We'll throw some at. You may have Dems that are kind of thinking, I could think of a place to spend that, or I could think of, it could go the wrong way, but it could also be kind of a thing that everybody could take credit for. And I mean, maybe that's the linchpin. I don't know, but that might be something. But again, that's something Congress has to figure out. President Trump's thrown out 400 ideas on there, and they really haven't acted on anything. So I don't know if that's just sitting in a bank account somewhere. I mean, we get millions and millions of dollars in a month, and then where does it go?
Yeah. I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah.
I've been waiting.
Yeah. You nor I. I don't think we will see any of it either.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting. I've got that too.
Yeah.
I got to say one more thing, Jay.
Okay.
The reaction, we talked about Charlie on the last show.
Yeah.
But the reaction in this free speech, hate speech stuff, I feel is something we kind of got to address too. I know we're doing the mess around here, the Ray Charles mess around, jumping from thing to thing. But this whole idea about, what people are saying, and some people have faced some consequences for it. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not anybody's employer. So it's really not up to me. I definitely think these people should be exposed. What happens to them is not my call.
Yeah.
But the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, to me, he's not a victim. Sorry.
No.
But what do you make of this? I keep hearing rumblings about hate speech and stuff like that. I don't like those labels because hate speech always seems like it's aimed at white people who don't like,
well, we've seen
protected little
South Korea,
yeah,
where
England is really bad.
If you're a Christian, you cannot speak out about anything that you care about. You cannot pray in front of an abortion clinic, even silently. You can't have a comedy act that espouses conservative viewpoints. You can't have a radio show and espouse conservative viewpoints, or you risk going to jail. And
England
that's
is
where it always ends.
England is arresting more people for speaking out than Russia.
Yeah.
Just to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
The evil Putin is arresting fewer people than England.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I will say, though, do you draw... See, I've always been known as kind of a First Amendment, I don't want to say absolutist, because that's not really... not quite where I stand. I don't quite agree with the, Oliver Wendell Holmes yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. I see his point, but I don't know that that's I think that's a dumb example, personally, of what we're talking about here. Is there, obviously there's threatening speech. Here's the problem I have. How do you define this? This is where I get into that's why I don't like the term hate crime, because it's like, okay, if I kill somebody, I should be prosecuted the same no matter what.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if the victim's gay or a man or a woman. It's why is that killing's wrong no matter what you do.
Absolutely.
So what does it matter whether the victim was old or young or black or they shouldn't be killed. Period.
I'm pretty sure if you kill somebody, you hate them.
Yeah, and under the law, we're equal under the law.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever did it, and who the victim should get justice. It should. Those other things shouldn't matter. And so when I hear the term hate speech, it's kind of like, okay, well, is passionately disagreeing with somebody hate speech? Huh. Is calling them an idiot hate speech? There's a lot of dummies out there. I mean, I'm threatening to kill somebody is different. But where's the line exactly, and who's the arbiter of what that line is? Because we all know what this is going to be used against. It's going to be used against people who speak out against the government.
Yes.
Ultimately, it's not going to be used about two people arguing on Facebook. It's going to be censoring government criticism.
It's used to provide a chilling effect so that it closes people's mouths.
Right. You're too afraid to speak out.
And they really couldn't care less about gay or straight, transgender or
they just bring out
binary,
the victims.
Or they just want to create fear so that the government is able to do what they need to do and without criticism. That's really it. They're using these two groups to pit them against one another so that they can do what they want to do without any opposition. And that's frightening.
It's scary, and I think that some Republicans right now are being pretty reckless in what they're saying.
Yeah,
I understand that they're upset about Charlie Kirk's killing. They're upset about some of the reactions and some of the people saying awful stuff about Charlie, which I just find so terrible. They got a right to say it.
Yeah.
But I understand why conservatives are pissed off, especially ones that were deplatformed and so I get it. And I think cooler heads will prevail, but I'm a little worried about some of the rhetoric I'm hearing. Now, again, maybe some people made off-the-cuff statements that they were pissed off at, whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody's proposed anything. But am I wrong to be just and I think Charlie Kirk, who was a champion of free speech, a total champion of free speech.
I'd say I'm pretty close.
To being worried or to being
a total champion of free speech. Yeah. And I see it this way
I'm not quite as far as you.
But I've seen what other countries do, and I've seen how other countries treat Christians, especially. And if I don't stand up for speech I absolutely abhor, then what is going to stop when they don't like what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
What about somebody who decides they don't want to employ somebody anymore, who speaks out and it goes viral?
Yeah.
Is that okay in your mind?
Yes, and here's the difference. The first, to quote the great Trace Adkins, son, the First Amendment protects you from the government, not from me. Right? So I mean, really, that's it. I mean, the First Amendment.
You're an at-will employer, I'm guessing too. It's like
yes. So if you're employing somebody and they reflect negatively on your company, they're doing damage to your company. That's different. If you have a Jimmy Kimmel who is about 126,000 viewers, and you're ranked like 120th.
You're giving him a little too much credit, I think. But
yeah, you're ranked like 125th in your time slot. I got news for you. It wasn't the government that was censoring you. They
it was his affiliates.
Yeah,
they were the people who were doing it.
Right. And they have
weren't
every
censoring
right to do that.
him, though. This is the thing. Jimmy Kimmel wasn't deplatformed.
He was suspended.
He said MAGA killed Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
Now, first off, that's misinformation. Notice nobody calls it that.
Yeah.
It's misinformation. It's wrong. It's hate-filled.
Yes.
Now, can Jimmy Kimmel say it? Sure. He doesn't have the right to be on ABC, though.
No, he doesn't have a right to be on ABC.
And here's the other thing. What if Jimmy Kimmel came out and said, I hate black people?
Yeah.
You think he'd have his job for any longer? He would be gone so fast, his shorts would have to take another car home.
He might. He's done blackface.
Yeah, but I mean, if he actually said that,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question he'd be fired.
Yeah. But, you look at it though. They're trying to blame Brendan Carr, who's chair
from
of
the
FCC,
FCC,
and
No,
even Disney.
He's the fall guy.
Yep.
He's the guy. He's Trump's guy there, and they're trying to, make him the guy who pressured somebody or blah blah blah.
But even the mouse is not giving that. Who they're as woke as the day is long.
Bob Iger, you're talking about at Disney.
Yeah, they will not.
He said
say,
he didn't talk to Carr.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. This was a decision they made. The government had no impact on their decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel. That is what the mouse said.
God, corporations. I'll tell you what, Jay, someday I got to tell some corporation stories.
Yeah.
Because I've grown to hate them.
Yes.
Just hate them.
Oh.
And I, for so much of my life, I have believed that any criticism of business is like Marxist.
Right.
It's like, no. Come on, free country. You signed a contract, blah, 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 blah. And I have changed. I've almost gone like Bernie Sanders on it. They are predatory. Corporations are anti-Christian.
Yeah.
They are anti-family. They treat you like cattle. I have gone like off the deep end about it.
Yeah.
I hate them so much. It bothers me that I won't say where or anything, still kind of get a paycheck from one.
Yeah.
Really just drives me insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And in colleges, I just can't stand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get why people, I'm a devout capitalist. I am.
Yes.
I'm a market guy, but you know what? There's a long way between Adam Smith and Karl Marx.
Yeah.
There's a long way in between those two.
Yes.
It's not. Those aren't our only choices. Okay. It's not. It's kind of like your choice is either defund the police or back the police no matter what they do. No, there's a lot in between there.
Right.
And I've gotten the same way. It's almost like, and I think I have to credit Trump for a lot of this because he's changed the Republican Party. He's changed my thinking. But I have to credit, I don't want to say some people on the left, but I've got to credit, I get it. I get the debt crisis. I get the student loan stuff. If I wanted a loan for like $150,000 to go to college, Jay, even at my age, I could get it.
Yeah.
I had an idea for a new business. Good luck getting that money. Now, how screwed up are those priorities?
Exactly. I mean, I understand, right? If you go to school, you take a school loan, that your chances of getting paid back for that, if you're the lender, are pretty good. And there are things that you can do to make sure that you do get paid back, forbearance and things like that.
They got every
put
tool
things on hold, just so that we make sure that when things get a little bit better, you'll give us your money. If a business fails, there's no way to recoup that money.
No.
So there is more risk in a business loan, but America is built on the backs of small businesses.
But schools are what kill entrepreneurship.
Yes, absolutely they do.
Schools teach conformity.
Teach you how to get a job.
They teach you to get a job, conform, get your health insurance, get your 401k, invest in what we tell you.
Yep.
They're the opposite of that.
Don't reach for the stars. Don't try anything great. Don't,
Get your degree. You spend $100,000 to get a degree in North African lesbian poetry, and you end up getting a job with the government for $42,000. Now you tell me how you're going to make it on that. It's these phony degrees.
Mm-hmm.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
And I tell you, But you know what? The propaganda that they're in is the endowments that they get. They get gazillions of dollars in endowments, and they bankrupt the people they're, quote, educating.
Yeah.
Now, I know. And before you libertarians invade my Twitter feed, you signed the contract. Yeah. Well, that's not the beginning and the end of it. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but don't we put any blame on the lender? Don't we put any blame on the school? Mm-hmm. Why is it all on the 17-year, 18-year-old kid that's had it beat into their head? Agree, you're going to be panhandling on the street. You're going to be working at McDonald's. That was beaten into my head, Jay.
Yeah.
Part of why I never graduated, because I rebelled. Okay, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's why I went to a 4-year school to learn music education, because it was safe, rather than going to like down here the IPR school, and learning recording and the music business. That's where I would have liked to have gone, but my family convinced me to play it safe. I got to have a backup plan, right?
Yeah, you got to spend your whole life having something to fall back on that you never achieve what you want to achieve.
Right.
I can't blame parents for that, though. I can understand them wanting good things for you. That's a tough spot to have a parent be put in. I'm sure you were a good student and all that.
Yeah.
So
was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I just really, 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 medical debt, that's another thing that's going to have to be dealt with. And yeah, does part of me go, all right, hey, I got premiums and I get sick and I pay for it, but what are you supposed to? You get in a car crash, go into an emergency room, get treated, and then you got a bill for $10,000.
Yeah.
Well, what is that?
Well, and this is what everybody has done now. All these corporations. You used to say you want to go to Disney World and take your family to Disney World. There's admission, and then you would pay, for souvenirs, or you would pay for food while you were there. But now they, along with every other corporation on earth, whether it be a bank, whether it be something else, have learned how to extract every single penny from you. Whether it's in fees, whether it is in charging you for this and that and the other thing that used to be complimentary.
Or half of it you don't use.
Right.
It's all a package deal, yeah.
Yeah. They have found out a way to take everything from you as a consumer. And it didn't used to be that way. You provided a good or a service. You paid for good or service. That was the end of the transaction.
It's an oligarchy.
Yes.
That's what it's become.
But now they have figured out a way to rob regular, everyday Americans of their wealth and to strip them and accumulate it for themselves. And it's obscene.
And I got to tell some Best Buy stories one of these.
Yeah,
because what I witnessed there, I probably shouldn't tell some of them, but who cares? Who cares? I mean, I still love the company to a degree, but man, some of the things I witnessed there, because as the place got more corporate and got bigger, it became the most what they spend. I don't even know if I could fathom a guess. And look, they're not alone in this.
Yeah.
What they spend on getting you to conform, saying the right pronouns, HR making sure that, we have diversity in nothing about selling a product or
right.
It's untold what they spend on that crap.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. I don't get, if corporations said, take your woke and F you, politicians would be powerless to do anything. Yeah. They fund all the politicians. So there's no way, if corporations said, we're not going woke, we're not addressing anybody's pronouns, we're not recognizing gay marriage, we're not doing any of this crap, there's nothing the politicians could do to them, because they're worldwide. They don't know boundaries, no borders, no nothing.
Yep.
but they're in bed with the government. That's really the truth.
It is the truth.
And so when business and government get together, what's the old saying, Jay? We're the losers.
Right.
And that, but I mean, I think back to videos I had to watch, and I think to myself, what does this have to do with selling electronics?
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I really look back on it with anger.
I mean,
I remember being told, I'll tell one quick story.
Yeah.
I remember being told by a manager that I can't point to something because in some cultures, pointing, the refrigerators are down here, that is considered offensive. And I wanted to say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my point. You bend over, I'm going to show you where I'm going to put it. That's what I wanted to say. But I look back and I think, what a stupid. Somebody asks you where something is and I'm supposed to not point?
Yeah.
It's an old white guy. What am I supposed to do? What?
Yeah.
You want to sell the fridge or don't you? But that is the mentality of a corporation. They don't want risk takers. They don't want people who are going to speak out. They don't want people who are going to change things. They want somebody who is going to sit there and you do whatever you want to that person.
Yeah.
And they're going to take it. They're going to take it some more. You could do anything you want to them and they're not going to go anywhere. That's who they want.
Absolutely. When I worked downtown for way too long,
yeah,
they
I remember when you worked downtown.
They passed out a book to, I don't know how many people in the corporation got it, or if it was just our team or whatever, called Who Moved My Cheese? It's all about accepting change and about not pushing back, just learning to accept the change and work with the change. And, I didn't read it. Actually, I read it after I left, but I think. But it made me so angry, that book. It's a good thing I didn't read it when they handed it out to everybody because I thought it was the stupidest thing. And it's like, who would do this? Like, if somebody tells you...
Who got paid to put that together? Don't tell me you can't afford to give me a raise if you have the money to do that crap.
Right. You're buying useless books for everybody. I just put the money in my pocket. I'd appreciate that a whole lot more.
Yeah, but I mean, is it up to your employer to tell you what to think or what to say? Or
they think it is.
I mean, it's just kind of like, none of it has anything to do with operating a business.
Right.
It's just all about pushing social norms.
Yes.
So, yeah, but
compliance.
It starts in college, though.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's where it is. And you know what? How do you expect young people, if you're a man and you're a 25-year-old man who's white, you've had your whole entire life you've been told white people are the problem. You have privilege. You should feel ashamed about your ancestors. That's what you should feel like. And I mean, what are we shocked, men or not? But building stuff, or I mean, are we surprised? Why are we surprised at that? What kind of man wants to be an HR manager?
Yeah,
it's a mom job. I mean, but it's like, I'm gonna go and check somebody's benefits. I'm gonna go and tell somebody what their pronouns are. But that's what I grew up wanting to do. It's stupid.
I know. I
don't know that they'll ever change, though. I don't know what to get those corporations to change. I mean, they're kind of biting their tongue right now, but what are their DEI, specialists? They're going to just be quiet for a year and then come back. I mean, I don't know.
They're going to have to be quiet for at least 4, maybe as many as 12.
Probably. But the other thing is, they still, if you go to any corporation, they'll make a statement at the beginning, probably written by lawyers, about how we here at XYZ Corporation, accept everybody from every origin, every gender, every age, every whatever. They're horrible. They're just horrible.
Yeah.
The anti-Christian stuff is also something that just pisses me off.
Yeah.
They're very, very not anti-religion.
Right.
Anti-Christian.
Yes.
Which is just abhorrent.
Right.
How bad it is.
Yes, indeed. It is.
You talked a lot today.
Did I?
I think you talked more than I did.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, maybe not. But Jay, you know what I'm going to do though.
Yeah.
As I always do, and that's give you the end of the show.
Well,
we're almost
right.
there.
Yeah.
We're in just a second. As soon as I get your intro music up.
Got to have that. I gotta make an entrance. I don't know how you make an entrance at the end of the show, but
well, your new character here makes an entrance.
yeah.
Styling, profiling, jet flying, limousine riding, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun. All right, Jay, sign off sermon. Give us some words of wisdom.
Thank you, Andrew. I don't know how many of you watched the Charlie Kirk memorial service. Would have been when we were recording this last Sunday. To see that many people, they say there were a couple 100,000 people there, between in the place, in the overflow, outside, around, and just to see and hear all these people that you normally wouldn't hear this from, but as J.D. Vance said, I don't think I've ever, in all my political career, talked about God this much. There's a change happening in our society. People are realizing that we're off the rails when it comes to gender issues, when it comes to sexuality issues, when it comes to spending, when it comes to the border, when it comes to violence, when it comes to crime. And Charlie was somebody that gave us hope in that area. Somebody who would have a conversation, explain things in such a way that we could understand them. And for those who disagreed, a lot of times they would come away understanding it at least differently if they didn't agree by the end of it. Well, it's up to us to pick up the torch. Up to us to carry on where Charlie left off. Up to us to stand in our own communities, in our own state. We can't allow for evil things to continue happening right where we live. In the Revolutionary War, there were so many people, and the Civil War too, that sacrificed for their country. They knew that it was up to them to do something, and they did, and they saved our nation. The Revolutionary War, it was a fledgling nation just begun out of the flames of the Declaration of Independence, and we stood and we preserved this new thing that we created. In the Civil War, we stood and we fought back against the scourge of slavery. And although it looked like we might lose, eventually we won. We preserved union. We're so fractured today, we don't even understand union. We don't understand how to be as one. We understand how to scream about our issues, our petty issues that each of us want to see what we want. But it's going to take more than arguing on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. It's going to take more than going to a rally or going to a meeting and sitting through a meeting than getting up and not doing anything when you're done with it. I've noticed that far too long on the conservative side. We're great at having meetings, and then we're really bad at doing stuff. It's got to change. We can't sit in a church service. We can't sit in a meeting. We can't go to a rally and walk away unchanged. The whole point of those things is for us to be filled with faith to do something different, that we will go out there, that we will sacrifice our comfort, that we will sacrifice our fear, and that we will walk in confidence, that we will walk through discomfort to see things change. Now, if we're serious about doing that, if we're serious about changing our country, pressing rewind, going back to the beginning, then we can do that. But it's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take a little bit of suffering, a little bit of pain. But isn't that, as adults, part of our responsibility to accept the risk for our children so that they can live a life that is better than the life we led? But yet, we don't want to take the risk. We don't want to step out and be uncomfortable. We don't want to run for office. We don't want to start a podcast. We don't want to have to take the gospel outside of the walls of the church and go win people to the Lord and disciple them. We don't want to do these things. But if we want to see our culture succeed, if we want to see it sustained, if we want to see it survive, then we've got to do it. Because this is the final call. This really is it. This is last call, everybody. Now, what are you going to do with it? You're going to stand up and say, not under my watch? Or are you going to be cool with whatever we get? If you're going to be cool with whatever we get, then we're not really interested in your position. But if you're willing to work at it, if you're willing to step into whatever it is you're being called to do, then we're here. COMM Solutions, MN at gmail.com. That's COMM Solutions, MN at gmail.com. We've started a podcast, and we're almost 350 episodes in. We have worked in the political realm and got people elected to city councils and county boards and township supervisory boards and school boards and Minnesota rep in the legislature. We know what it takes. We know what it takes because the vast majority of the people that we work with win. But yet there's still this, I'm going to do it myself-ism out there. And usually when you're going to do it yourself, you never end up doing anything. Or you get frustrated because you don't have the help. We're here to help. We're here to help you build something that is going to take back a piece from darkness and allow the light to shine. If that's you, get a hold of us. Let's start a plan now for next year. What do you say? We love you, Minnesota, but now it's your turn to get to work.